So I personally, I just have a small subject for today. It is the war in Israel, Palestine, or something like, because the people also from here, they think to the war time because it's influenced by the war in Israel, and also the people in the East Europe, they are thinking to the war time because they are saying this will be coming also towards the Romania and this invasion of the people worldwide, that the people are moving and they have no their place where to live and everything, and they attack others, they have not the resources to live. So this pressure, how can you see this war practically going to an end? Because we know that we can put the end to any kind of war with Gpms.world, but the people are still asking, how can we do that? What it is, because we are saying, yes, we can do, but please tell to the people how we can do that to put any war down.
Thank you, Beatrice. That's a very excellent question. And it's a very difficult one yet at this moment. If we look right where we're at now on that lower timeline with the Israel war occurring, or if it may be over, I don't know, but occurring simultaneously as the new world is being constructed. So there is a destruction factor, which is in tandem with the construction as well. So to bring the full peace again, as you're seeing with the present numbers of GPMS, it is having some effect, but it's not doing that yet, because what you also have is many of the people worldwide that are not fully awake. They're putting their energy and their focus on this war, which is keeping a fearful event and timeline alive. And this is keeping the war alive as well. And until we have enough, whatever magic number that is, aligned with GPMS, you're not going to see the peace. What is occurring is, what ones need to know is that you never know what was avoided by GPMS being here in the first place. Meaning that if it wasn't here right at this time, you would be suffering a very, very difficult controlled reality that is even more enslaved. So you never truly know from this point, from this vantage point, what has been avoided. So having said there could have been a nuclear war far before now. So was that avoided? It has been, because we haven't experienced it. So by the result of doing what we're doing is having an effect towards peace. So there are, I did say about a month ago that there were going to be two timelines, and this was prophesized, that there'll be the higher timeline where, because there is an ascension going on, where ones work more on their inner self at getting rid of that fear, because that establishes the peace, while the lower timeline with the wars, chaos, a lot of destruction has to occur also for the people to be able to make the choice. They need to see how bad it actually is so that they can choose also the right thing. So we have two things going congruently. And what those two things are is that one's by seeing the war and are surrendering to their self, to their morality being activated, then they're able to perhaps see GPMS. So you have a trickling of those ones that constantly come in when they're able to recognize the solution. But there's that element, as I mentioned earlier, with the war, these ones are unable to even perceive what GPMS is. They're unable to even see the word if it's out there. If they're scrolling in Facebook, there could be 10 GPMS posts in their feed, but it wouldn't even register with them that it's there. They wouldn't even see them because of their alignment with fear yet. So, with this, it is a delicate question to that degree, because there's so many variables that are playing into this. But GPMS is the absolute piece. It does establish it because it has the full guidelines to establish full peace. But again, humanity has to agree that they want peace, and they have to agree all in one place, and it has to be ratified. And this is what GPMS is doing, is ratifying peace through all of the accords, all of the agreements. And once the majority does this, peace is upon the planet for good, and it cannot never be any other way. The reason why there's war here now is because there's never been a peace accord that's been lawfully ratified by the majority of the people. What has actually occurred is you've had governments that are putting, let's say, treaties and constitutions in place that have no value, and they are null and void, but people think that they are. It's a false sense of security that the governments were giving people while they continue their wars. So these governments are never ratified by the people. When you look worldwide, prior to GPMS, have the people worldwide ever been asked the question in a lawful referendum, do you wish for all the individual governments to be here? And if you do, vote. So then we put this into law. It's never been done. The Nuremberg Agreement is nothing but a gentleman's agreement, but it's also an illusion. And one of the reasons why is because it's from the perspective that international law will endorse it. But the truth is, with international law, it's all part of the artificial laws, the man-made law, the man-made system. And the actual ones that are put in place to enforce international law are the perpetrators, are the governments themselves. So this is why there's never any peace or any gratification for the people, or satisfaction or abundance, because their whole legal fiction system, which is connected to their money, is their control system. And this is why GPMS takes these two main staples of society, flips them upside down, doing what is right with the simple divine law and a full equal monetary system. And what this does, it eradicates and dissolves that old system. Then world peace is established. But at the same time, the remnants of darkness knows that GPMS is out there. It is their biggest nightmare. It is what they are so afraid of, and why, they'll send their minions in and spam your posts, or they'll censor or what have you. But it doesn't have any effect when you look at it, because GPMS daily is growing. And as we said, GPMS is from the heart, and also worldwide by word of mouth. Without any internet, you can get it done worldwide. So it's inevitable. It cannot be stopped. But, their attempts will throw little wrenches in it, but it also gives, it opens the door for others' knowledge on how to circumvent what they do. And, it's quite a game, because it's a funny game, because eventually the minions are overpowered, and, what they tried to do has no effect on it. So we keep the focus on this, on the new world, and that dissolves everything of the old.